What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is your retro review for the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 2, episode 8. I think we're on 7 or 8. I don't know. So we picked this episode up with Dina's departure. So the 3 remaining main ladies, because of course, nobody's filming with Danielle. So you have Teresa, Carolyn, and Jacqueline. They're going out to lunch basically to, talk about the fact that Dina is gone, how she tried, and she really tried to work with Danielle, but Danielle was just impossible, and Dina doesn't like drama, so forth and so on. So no more Dina. Bye-bye, I guess. And y'all have been leaving comments in my videos saying that Dina never really wanted to do the show and, all this kind of stuff. Again, I feel like she was very handicapped in developing a real storyline because her husband didn't want to film. And then this season, from what y'all told me, her daughter couldn't film. And so it really, Danielle was a good reason for her to exit. But it was just what storyline was she retired, so she wasn't working anymore, at least not in a full-time capacity, so she kind of was limited. Then we have Danielle's storyline. This episode is she has to have her breast redone. She's had a bad deformity, she had a staph infection, she had all kinds of stuff going on with her augmentation. She said she's had 3 augmentations, which sounds like a lot. I don't know, because I have no reason to get anything augmented, okay? So I don't know what that looks like in a lifetime. Like if she got them done really young and had to get them redone. I know at a certain point they do have to be redone and all that good stuff. What we find out, she does end up having the surgery. The doctor had to bring in a consultant child, an expert, because he said this is the worst he has ever seen. He was like, this is absolutely horrible. So I don't know what was going on with Danielle's breast, but she got them fixed. Thank you. Okay. Hallelujah. All right. Hallelujah. Teresa is finally having a housewarming, right? Remember, at the end of last season, the house was ready. She moved in, but she wasn't in a position to really have a housewarming at her house. So they sort of just had the celebration, which ended up being the infamous table flip and, all that went down. So now Teresa is actually going to have a party at her home. She brings in Elvira, L Lady, who is the party planner of the area. Like everybody in that area uses her. She's the one to call. And I feel like she walked in the house on one. Like, I don't know if she was just trying to create a moment because the cameras were there, or if that is who she really is. But she was rude to Teresa. She was asking Teresa about having help. First of all, that's not your business. Because she was like, well, who cleans your house? Teresa was like, I do. She's like, you don't have a live-in? She was like, yeah, no, I don't do that. I don't have a nanny. I don't have a live-in. I don't have none of that. She was like, I don't really believe in all that. Like, I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl. I take care of the home. My husband brings home the bacon. And she was like, but you need help. Teresa was like, but I don't. She was like, well, but that's how you're going to kill yourself if you don't. You need to get somebody. She was like, okay, well, do you have help? She was like, absolutely. I have a nanny. I have a maid. I have this. I have that. Teresa was like, good for you. But what does any of that have to do with my party, which is what I'm asking you to plan, which has nothing to do with how much, like, the kids ain't going to be running around the night at a party, and I just feel like that is just rude, and Teresa was offended, and I would have been offended too. Now, Teresa better than me because I feel like I probably wouldn't have let her do my party because I would have been really pissed off. Like, girl, what is your problem? Like, why are you so in my business? But she let her do the party. We'll get to the party later, child, because that was a whole situation. The party was nice, but people needing to be seen. So Ashley, Jacqueline, and her husband Chris. Listen, I know, I know that we are well beyond this. I know that y'all told me in the comments that Ashley is married with kids now, and hopefully she has matured. But y'all. So after Ashley, stomped out of the house, called her mother out her name, and embarrassed her in front of her friends, Chris has to basically call a meeting because I feel like Chris had to call that meeting because neither one of them had called each other. So Chris calls the meeting to try to figure out or resolve whatever the issue is with them. Ashley was like, well, I was just embarrassed, I don't know, I was just in a bad, no, she said I was in a bad mood, I have a really bad temper, I don't know. And Chris was like, cut the bullshit. Now, I don't know if it was edited because I was here for it. When Chris said cut the bullshit, I was like, yes, Chris, yes, cut the bullshit. But then I felt like the conversation went left and y'all let her kind of do that, crying thing and I'm sorry. And, I don't know. I was in a bad mood that day. And I'm just like, no, none of that is okay. Like, I don't care what her reasoning was. It was not okay for her to call her mother out her name. And the reason why she got mad was over something so stupid. And then she says, well, I kind of miss home. I kind of want to come back. Why you want to come home now? Because it's not as easy as you thought it was when you moved out. You thought life was going to be sweet. You thought it was going to be cool. You thought money was going to be in your bank account, which they probably are still taking care of that girl. But you thought it was going to be sweet. And Chris was like, well, you can come home whenever you want, but you're going to follow the rules. Like, you left because you didn't want to follow the rules. And she was like, well, I just don't understand why. I mean, I'm 18. I don't know why I need a curfew. And he was like, listen, during the week, midnight. On the weekends, 2 a.m. I don't see the problem. He was like, it seems to me like you just don't want a curfew at all. And she was like, yeah. Like, I feel like I should be able to just tell you guys where I am and it should be okay. Baby. She was like, yeah, no, that's not cool. So she's crying and whatever, and they come up with a compromise, and she gets to move back in. See, y'all better than me. That was just too easy for me. And I'm not saying let your child be homeless. But first of all, y'all weren't even sure where the girl actually ever went. She said she was staying with a friend, but everybody suspected she was at the boyfriend's house. And the mama told on her when Jacqueline went over there to meet the mama was like, yeah, she cleans, and she does this. Ain't nobody cleaning a house where they don't live. Now, I just don't believe that. She goes over her boyfriend's house and cleans and helps the mom clean the house. I mean, I understand wanting to get in good with your boyfriend's mom, but that child, she was living there with that boy. Now, maybe she technically had her stuff at another place, but she was living there with that boy. Anyway, so she moved back home. So then we see Carolyn and Albie. Now, I felt so bad. This is one of those episodes where I felt like I was watching this I wish I was watching this in real time. So Albie is in law school, and he basically flunked out of law school. He failed a class. He went to go retake the class. He needs a 2.0 GPA in order to move on. He has a 1.9. And the school basically told him, thanks but no thanks. Now, I have friends who have flunked out of law school. I'm just being transparent, okay? I have friends who have flunked out of law school, reapplied because there's something you gotta wait a certain period, you can reapply, and all these different stipulations. It's not, law school ain't no cakewalk, right? I know we got a million lawyers out here, so it makes it look like it's easy, but it's not. And what we find out though is that Albie has a learning disability. Well, as an educator, I perked up because I said, well, wait a minute. If he has a learning disability, then I found out that the school knew he had a learning disability when they admitted him. So this is a documented learning disability that the school was aware of when they admitted him. Now, here's the thing. After the age of 21, there really is no legal obligation. But, however, you would think that the school would take, knowing that they admitted him with this learning disability, would take that into consideration. And I felt really bad because Albie is crying. He wants to be an attorney. And Carolyn I love Carolyn when it comes to her mama bear instincts. I may not like everything about Carolyn, but baby, Carolyn told him, she said, don't you let nobody tell you can't be what you want to be. If this school doesn't want you, then we'll find a school that will take you. But if you want to be a lawyer, you will be an attorney. You will be a lawyer. And what's going to happen is fast forward. And his daddy was like, fast forward 20 years from now, he's going to be getting awards. He's going to be winning cases. And they're going to wish that they kept my child. I said, I know that's right. I love that part of them. You know what I'm saying? I love that part of them. Baby, I was here for all of that. Okay. So later on in the episode, they all have a family dinner where she's congratulating all her kids because the daughter is actually in makeup school. Remember last season, they were trying to make her go to cosmetology school, and she was like, look, I really don't want to do nobody's hair. I don't want to touch nobody's, I don't want to do all of that. I really just want to do makeup. Well, cosmetology school, contrary to popular belief, cosmetology school covers the gambit, right? I mean, you can have a focus just like in a college. You can have a focus, but it really covers the gambit. So they found her a makeup school in New York that she just does makeup, and she is loving it. And I'm happy for her. Now I'm gonna let that, because this scene is 10 years old, or older. I'm gonna let it go that they had that lady in the background in blackface because it was avant-garde day and they were doing like these crazy makeups. I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna let that shit go. When I say let it go, I don't mean like it didn't bother me. I mean like it was 10 years ago. I can't sit here and go off on something that happened 10 years ago. Okay. But what I am going to say is they had that lady in the background getting her makeup done, and it was full blackface. And then they had the nerve to put an afro wig on her. Now, what I am going to say is I didn't get a good enough look at her natural skin to see if it really was truly blackface or not. But it looked like it. It looked like the natural skin tone was like this and not like this. I'm just gonna say that, okay? It looked like her natural skin tone was this color and the makeup they put on her was this color. But I just can't fight that fight right now, okay? I mean, that was like the whole conversation they had about gay people last season. I I can't fight that fight. Now, Teresa and Jacqueline go down to Porsche, not the Porsche dealership, but the Porsche boutique that's run by Kim. I guess it's Kim S. I don't know, one of them initials. I know it ain't Kim G. Kim G, the other Kim. And once again, she is talking about how, yeah, me and Danielle are friends, but it's like it's like they don't want to claim Danielle, but then they want to be a part of the conversation about Danielle. My thing is, and from this aspect, I do feel bad for Danielle, because from this aspect, it's like these people are really doing you dirty. You know what I'm saying? They smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place, the backstab. Because I feel like they using Danielle to get on the show to get a camera in their face, but they don't really care about Danielle. So you have Kim S down to the Porsche talking about, yeah, I'm cool with Danielle, but my boyfriend doesn't like Danielle, and he don't want me to have nothing to do with her. But he don't tell me what to do. He don't run nothing over here. And I'm like, well, which one is it? Either you like the girl or you don't. But ultimately, y'all know she was just talking ish about Danielle, because again, she want to be cool with Teresa and Jacqueline and them. Like, she wants to stay cool with the in crowd. Again, I think it comes down to the whole lights, camera, action situation, right? Wanting to be on the show. Um, so we get to the party. Teresa is having her party. Elmira, she shows up, and she's still being rude. This time she wasn't being rude to Teresa. She's being rude to all the other people, right? She was being rude to all the other people. And I was just like, dang, girl, like, anyway, child. Anyway. So, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So anyway, the party is nice. I mean, Teresa got, it's Teresa, so it's over the top. Child, she got people eating fire. She got break dancers. She got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And everybody wants to talk about Danielle. Listen, I am Caroline in this moment. I am sick of Danielle. I'm sick of us talking about Danielle. I'm sick of Danielle always being in the room, even when she is not in the room. I am 100% with Caroline. At one point, Caroline was like, stop. Because Kim S wanted to talk to Ashley about the Facebook back and forth. And Caroline was like, don't talk about that. Just don't say nothing. I said don't say nothing. And Ashley was like, what? I mean, she's just dead to me. That's it. She's just dead to me. Caroline was like, girl, what I tell you? Didn't I tell you don't say nothing? I know that's what I said. And I was just like, exactly. Like, can we stop for real? So then, Teresa's doing her, I want to thank everybody for coming. And of course she calls up Carolyn and Jacqueline, up to the front, because they are filming for the show. Baby, here comes, oh, and Carolyn S. I don't know why Carolyn G. I don't know why Carolyn G was there because Caroline didn't understand why none of them I'm sorry. I said Caroline. Kim G. Caroline didn't understand why none of them Kims was there. And I'm with Caroline on that one. Why are any of these Kims here? Kim G is running around telling everybody that, well, she ain't telling everybody. She's telling Caroline that Jacqueline is obsessed with Danielle. Jacqueline was like, I'm not obsessed with Danielle. I'm upset with Danielle, and there is a difference. I'm not obsessed about anything as it relates to Danielle. I'm not sure what she's talking about. I'm not understanding where that's coming from. So then, they call the people up, and Caroline S. is drunk as hell, and she walks up there and she starts talking to Teresa about how much she loves her house and how grateful and she loves Teresa. Now Teresa was laughing. She was like, I mean, she was drunk and I was loving every minute of it. But the rest of the ladies were upset. They were side eyeing the situation, and they were really sitting there like, I don't even like what the F, right? So then, oh shoot, it was one more thing that happened. Damn, I lost my train of thought that quick. Anyway, child, that was basically what it was. This whole, let me rewind. So Carolyn G finagled her way into an invitation. So she didn't get invited because Teresa was like, I really don't want to invite anybody that's connected to Danielle. Like, I really don't want to invite. So she invites, Kim G gonna send a text to Teresa talking about congratulations again on your house and have a great party, which of course was her slick ass way of letting her know, I know about the party and I know I ain't get invited. So now Teresa is talking to Jacqueline and is like, so should I invite her? Jacqueline was like, yeah, I think you should. I think she feels a little left out. Hey, I think you should. So then she ends up inviting her. So that's another reason why Caroline was side-eyeing the whole situation. Like, I don't even understand why you here. So the episode ends with Kim G trying to have this conversation with Jacqueline, and Jacqueline basically walking off from her because Jacqueline was like, "Ain't nobody obsessed with Danielle, and I really take issue with you saying that I have some sort of obsession with this woman, child." And I said Kim S. That girl name is Kim D. It's Kim G and Kim D. My bad. Those are the two Kims, Kim G and Kim D. Anyway, child, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.